Hello everyone, welcome on in. I'm Lily and you're watching Lily of the Stars. So today I'm going to be doing a reading for all the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. I'm going to do it all in one video, so Scorpio and Pisces, please rewind ahead. Because I'm still learning to do the timestamps, so I'm really sorry about that. So today we're going to explore what's coming towards you in love and romance. So let's go ahead and get into the message. And also we're going to take a look at some advice from Spirit. And that's going to be extremely important at the end of each sign's reading. Okay? All right. So, Cancer, let's see what's coming towards you in love and romance. Cancer Spirit. Okay. All right. So, Cancer, you got 4 cards. And the energy for the overall reading is the Queen of Swords. So right now, you're just embodying a really honest and well-disciplined person, because that's what the Queen of Swords is. And she's extremely in control of her emotions. So if, let's say, for example, let's say your relationship may not be working out. She's the kind of queen, male or female, it's just the energy. And so if someone doesn't serve her any longer, she'll just cut them right off. No emotions. That's how amazing the Queen of Swords is. She's kind of harsh, but still pretty amazing for what she does. Okay. So let's see what we can figure out today, Cancer. All right, so the first card is you have the Hanged Man. So at this time, you may be looking at things from different perspectives and seeing like what else is out there. You could even be sacrificing something in your relationship at this time, because it also speaks on that. So here's the Hanged Man. And you got the 10 of Pentacles. So this is like the epitome of like happy life, happy home. And it speaks a lot on traditions in family, legacy, even inheritances. So you want to keep that in the back of your mind. It's an extremely stable energy. So maybe in your relationship, you're just feeling like you're on top of the world at this time, because the 10 of Pentacles definitely indicates that. Pretty awesome. Okay. And then you got the Judgment card. So the Judgment card is like, it's pretty much an awakening of what's going on in your relationship or within your life. But since we're focusing on love, we'll focus on the relationship aspect. And it also talks about renewal as well. So you may be thinking about your relationship and maybe doing something differently at this time to make it better. And also, it's about making decisions, hence the Judgment. So I would definitely reflect on that. You know, like I said, if there's something going on in your relationship and you're not sure like what direction to go in, I would just reflect on that. And then you got the Ace of Wands. This is a great card because it speaks on the beginnings of new opportunities. With the Ace of Wands, I mean, it even is like a phallic symbol for the male anatomy. It's a very passionate energy, especially if it's talking about relationships, if you know what I mean. So at this time, maybe you're thinking about your intimacy with your lover also. All right, so Cancer, let's go ahead and get a couple of cards about what may be going on in your relationship, and then we'll get some advice from Spirit. All right, Cancer. What's going on in your relationship? Okay. All right, you got a couple of cards here. So, one card says untrue stories. It says, you tell yourself bad things. Change your stories and see the good that can happen. So maybe this is just something that you're going through. Maybe it's just a negative little part of your relationship that you may be thinking about. Because if you're thinking all these negative things or bad things about your relationship, you could manifest it, and that obviously would be a very negative thing. So stop telling yourself untrue stories if that's in fact what you're doing. And also, I just want to say, forgot to say earlier, if this doesn't resonate, just leave it for someone else that it will fit their story. Okay, and so for the second card, hard to get. Are you playing hard to get, Cancer? Or is someone playing hard to get with you? It says, you are missing opportunities by playing too hard to get. Give someone a chance. Oh boy. Okay. So if you are playing hard to get, hey, give someone a chance. Or if it's vice versa, I would even speak up to them. I mean, I'm not a life coach, but if you know someone's playing hard to get with you, I would definitely say something. But that's just me. Okay. All right, so now I want to get some advice from Spirit for you, Cancer. Okay, I already shuffled the deck. For Cancer, Spirit. Okay. All right, we got quite a few cards, so I'm just going to take the top two and just put the rest back in. Okay. All right, let's see what you got here. So, some advice, looming agenda. You have different ideas about love and intimacy. So maybe right now, in your relationship, you may be experiencing some differences on what you think is proper in a relationship as far as love and intimacy goes. It says looming agenda. So if you have an agenda on something, it may or may not work. Because in relationships, it's really hard because you can't control what happens in relationships. I mean, you definitely can't control someone else because it's just not a good thing anyway. But controlling other people it's a difficult thing to get involved with, and it could backfire. So that's just what I'm thinking when it says looming agenda. Okay. So next one is clouded vision. Recognize and discuss red flags or areas of concern. So, I mean, straight away, if you're seeing red flags in a relationship that you're in, I would talk to the person about it. Just bring it up casually and just say, hey, you know, whatever it could be. If you think if you're in a committed relationship, let's say, and you think they're seeing somebody else, you could ask them what type of relationship they want to be in. That's just, you know, one example, Cancer. So I would do that because when you have clouded vision, it obscures everything. It's like looking through a foggy glass because everything is like you're not seeing it clearly. Okay, and the last one says magic within. Create space for personal growth and self-discovery. I think that's pretty awesome. I think it's really important to do self-reflection and relate it to your relationship and, you know, reflect on, you know, how you feel, maybe what you guys can do better in the relationship and things like that. So that's what I would recommend, Cancer. So hopefully this does resonate with you, and I ask you to like and subscribe to my channel and video. All right, Cancer. So this is all I have for now, and I just want to apologize for it taking so long. I just had like so many different things going on in like every direction. So that's the reason why it took me this long to get the information out to you. Okay? All right, Cancer. Well, you take care, and I'm going to move on to Scorpio now. All right. So I'm just going to shuffle the decks. All right, Scorpio. How are you doing out there? I hope you're doing well. Okay. I appreciate your patience. All right. So today we are going to find out what's coming towards you in love and romance. So we'll start that in just a moment. And I'm also going to get some cards on some advice for you from Spirit. And we're going to explore possibly some, a couple of karmic lessons. So that has to do with like past experiences. And like an example of that would be like if you're in like a toxic relationship and the person's controlling, for example, and it just keeps happening over and over and over again, that would be like a karmic relationship. And we'll talk about that a little bit, Scorpio. Okay. All right. So this one is shuffled. I'll shuffle this one a little bit. Okay. All right, Scorpio. And one more deck. This is the deck that your advice is going to come from. It's called Clarifying Love Situations. I don't know who it's by, but it has a lot of great advice from Spirit. Okay. All right, Scorpio, let's get the message in of what's coming towards Scorpio in love and romance. Okay. All right. Well, we got a few cards here. Okay. Okay, so the overall energy for the reading is the Knight of Cups. So he is an extremely charming knight. I mean, you know, if you're male or female, it's just the energy of the card, the Knight of Cups. So you may be dealing with somebody who is extremely charming and just loves love, if that makes sense. All right, so let's take a look at the cards you got. All right, so straight away, you got the Tower card. So right now you're going through some sudden changes, possibly upheavals in love and romance. Maybe things haven't been panning out as you thought. Maybe the dating scene is just not, you know, going in the right direction that you wanted to. Or if you're in a committed relationship, could be the same thing. Things aren't really working out. But I would definitely stick with it, because you got the Magician card. And right now you have all the tools you need to manifest pretty much anything that you want, within reason, of course. Because right now you have all the skills and abilities to do that. And you definitely have the willpower. You know, for example, if the dating scene is just, you're just not meeting the right people, or, you know, if you're in a relationship, the other person really isn't being the kind of person that you thought they were. Okay. And also, you got the Nine of Swords. So, you could be worrying right now about your love life. It's possible that you're staying up late at night worrying and just ruminating over your relationship with the other person. Yeah, just, you know, take it how it resonates. If this doesn't fit into your story, don't make it fit. Just leave it for someone else. It could fit into their story. So, I mean, this card even talks about like reaching a breaking point too. So hopefully that's not what's happening. But the next card is the Nine of Wands. This is what I call the wounded warrior. It's kind of like this person, male or female, doesn't matter, is taking the last stand. And what I mean by that is they're trying one last time to make the relationship work. Possibly you're doing this, or maybe the person you're with could be doing that. It's like you're almost there, like you can just see the outcome of what you want to happen. It's like almost there, but not quite. All right, and then you got the Judgment card. So this is a card of an awakening. So right now, you may be doing some self-reflection of yourself and maybe the person that you're with, like, you know, thinking about them and just evaluating them on, you know, how the progress of your relationship is going, or if the person you're with is actually the right person for you. So a judgment definitely needs to be made, or, you know, a decision. So I would just kind of go with it and go with what you think is best for the relationship. Yeah, some tough stuff here, Scorpio. All right, so let's get a couple of other messages from Spirit. Scorpio, Spirit. Scorpio. Messages for Scorpio. Messages for Scorpio. Okay. All right, I'm going to take the card underneath. And this card that fell on the floor, and this came out, I think, third. Okay. So we have procrastinating and needing to be rescued. So For procrastination, it says don't make someone wait around too long. They may give up on you. So, I don't know, maybe you could be in that position where you're not really going after the person. I don't mean chasing, I mean like just communicating with the person like you normally would when you date somebody, or if you're in a relationship that's committed, you could be procrastinating on something that you and your partner already talked about. And need rescuing. It says you are waiting for love to save you, but you must stop waiting and start looking. So a person or love can't save you, but you can save yourself. If you need rescuing, you can save yourself. You need to start possibly doing some reflection inward if you feel like you need to be rescued at this time. That's just something, if someone asked me for advice, that's what I would say. But spirit. Okay, the camera shut off. Sorry about that. So just follow what Spirit says. You need to stop waiting for love to save you, or for someone to save you, and start looking within. All right, I know this didn't really end on a good note, Scorpio, but I would just say, be patient with yourself whenever it comes to love. All right. So that's all I have for now, Scorpio. And I'm sorry it took so long to get the message out there to you. Typically, I want to get it out like once a week. Okay. All right. So Pisces is up next. Hello, my Pisceans. Hope you're doing well. All right, I just need to do some shuffling of the deck. Or I should say decks. So today I want to take a look at what's coming towards you in love and romance. And we're going to get advice from Spirit after we get your message. Okay, and Pisces, I'm sorry I didn't get this message out to you earlier. I know it's been over a week now, and my goal is to do it less than a week. All right. So, okay, Pisces, the camera did shut off. I think it just got too warm. Okay, so let's find out what's coming towards you in love and romance. Pisces, love and romance. Pisces, love and romance. Pisces, love and romance. Okay. All right. Okay. So the overall energy for the reading, Pisces, is the Queen of Pentacles. So right now, you're embodying the queen. You could be male or female. It's just the energy of the card. So she's an extremely comfortable financially. She lives a luxurious lifestyle, but she's very generous. So right now you're kind of embodying that. Okay. And we do have the Ten of Swords here. So right now you're going through an ending of some sort, or you just feel like you're at a dead end pretty much. So maybe in your relationship, or if you're dating somebody, you feel like it's not working out and it's coming to an end. But then you got the Six of Wands. So this card means that you are having success and you're being recognized for something. It could be like good work, or some type of, I would say something for your job, or maybe your partner is recognizing you for doing something for them. Maybe like throwing them a party, or, something like that. But you are taking pride in whatever it is that you've done. And that's awesome. Okay, and then you got the Magician card. So right now you got the Midas touch. Okay, so you have all the skills and abilities to manifest things and make stuff happen. And that is really, really good. As long as you have the desire to do something, you can do it. Absolutely. And then you have the Ten of Wands. So you may be feeling like right now you have a lot of responsibility, or you have like this burden or something like that. Just that feeling of stress, just something like really like burning you out. Okay, I mean, since we are talking about love and romance, I mean, maybe you're feeling burnt out in your relationship, But we're going to get some advice from Spirit. Okay. All right, so let's see what Spirit has to say. Pisces. Message for Pisces. Spirit, message for Pisces. Okay. Wow, we got a couple of important messages here. One of them is tolerating abuse, and the other one is settling. So any kind of abuse is not okay. You deserve someone who treats you well. So hopefully that isn't happening to you, Pisces, or vice versa, because it doesn't help anybody. And don't stay with someone who isn't right for you just because it's safe. I don't know if you saw my video on karmic lessons, but it talks about cycles that keep repeating over and over and over again. And one of them could be, like for example, tolerating abuse. Once you don't learn the lesson until it stops, the behavior. So I would definitely go check that out. It's a really good video, and I'm going to be making more of those as well, Pisces. But let's see what other advice we can get from Spirit. Okay, Pisces, advice, Spirit. Advice for Pisces. That one kind of jumped out of my hand. Okay. Okay, so interestingly, you got the same card that Cancer got, looming agenda. You have different ideas about love and intimacy. So in your relationship, because you may have different ideas about love and intimacy, that's going to be pretty difficult. And the other card is leadership's lure, Lure. Dominant in spirit, fueled by pride, yet true control lies in wisdom's embrace. So dominant in spirit, fueled by pride. So you may or may not be doing this, but it's basically just talking about being controlling. So it just goes back to what I said earlier about karmic lessons. Until a person stops doing a certain behavior, like in this case, control, it's just going to be a repeating cycle. So I would just recommend, just being patient with yourself and trying to stop the behavior. I mean, I'm not a life coach by any means. I'm just a nice girl on YouTube. But see what you can do, If that is, of course, this may or may not resonate with you and it's not your story, so don't make it fit if it isn't. But I got to get the message out there. So hopefully you do, or you are patient with yourself. And I would say just do some self-reflection at this time. All right, Pisces. So thank you for your patience and me getting the message out finally. And I wish you all my love. And thank you for stopping by. And I'll see you soon.